Before the 2019 to 2020 NBA season, the Los Angeles Clippers made some huge changes. They first traded for Paul George, who was in his prime, and arguably still is, and then signed Kawhi Leonard to a 3-year deal which was recently renewed. They were the 2 seed in the West, but as we all know, they lost to the Denver Nuggets after being up 3-1 in the second round. The next year, they came back twice against the Mavericks and the Jazz before losing to the Phoenix Suns in the conference finals. So that brings us to the last season, where injury plagued the team. Both Kawhi and PG missed the majority of the season, and the team could not even make the playoffs. So how does a team that missed the playoffs win a chip the next season? Well, I'll tell you. To me, the key to this team's success in this upcoming season is not the return of Kawhi Leonard or Paul George. It is a 31-year-old point guard who has played just over 100 games in the last 5 years. You all know it, he's John Wall. But hold up, how is John Wall more important than arguably a top 5 player in Kawhi Leonard? Yeah, in Houston, Wall was putting up an impressive stat line. The guy was averaging 20 points and 7 assists a game. But his scoring needs to take a dip if this team wants to be successful. When looking at John Wall, he really hasn't played in 3 years. His games with Houston don't show his real value, as he was the best player on the worst team in the league. Also, he's not in his prime, and his athletic ability has dropped. The whole reason the Clippers signed him is for him to be a facilitator, a pass-first guy. He doesn't need to average 15-20 a game, but as long as he's bringing up the ball and dishing the ball to Kawhi, PG, Reggie Jackson, Luke Kennard, any of the scorers on that team, he's doing his role. He fills the void of a true pass-first point guard that these Clipper teams have needed. So just using him to take some of the load off of the stars. But that's enough with John Wall. This may be a bit of a hot take, but I don't think the Warriors win that championship if even half of the injured teams are healthy. And assuming teams are healthy this upcoming season, then the competition will be so much greater. So I'll just show some starting lineups of some Western Conference contenders, and I don't think a single one of these teams can beat the Clippers in a 7-game series. Of course, let's talk about contenders on their own now. So Golden State will be a favorite, and although we've never seen a healthy Clippers team play this version of Golden State, we have seen Kawhi carry a team to the finals and win over an arguably better Golden State team. And I think this Clippers team is better than that Raptors team. Of course, the reigning number 1 seed is a contender, but after a disappointing postseason for Phoenix where they missed out on KD, lost JaVale McGee, and Chris Paul is now going to be 37 the whole way and he'll be 38 come playoffs, it's hard to say they'd beat the Clips again. I'd take PG and Kawhi over Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton all day. The last true contender in the West is the Denver Nuggets, who, in my opinion, pose the biggest threat to this Clipper team. Remember, they lost to the Nuggets before, and back then Jokic was not a back-to-back MVP. When MPJ takes his next step and Jamal Murray returns, who's to say this isn't a contender as well? In this case, I think the superior defense of the Clips carries them over the hump, but I'm sure this series will be close. Finally, the East. If they do make the finals, I think they will either see the Celtics or the Bucks. Now, it's pretty obvious that this will be a low-scoring series either way, and 2 of the league's best defenses going at it. Should be pretty fun to watch. Against the Celtics, I think the Clips have the best, most consistent player in Kawhi, who carries them to the win. It's not really debatable that Giannis is the best player in the series, but I think the gap is not as wide between Giannis and Kawhi as the gap is between Paul George and Chris Middleton. So the Clippers win. That, I believe, is definitely my weakest argument, but I'll stick by it. But whatever happens, we'll have to wait and see. For now, I think the Clippers should be the championship favorites, not the Warriors, and I look forward to watching them play. Anyways, that's it for this one. If you enjoyed watching this video, make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more NBA content just like this.